sequel number 141 of the Church of Uganda at 150 years, a celebration. In this particular sequel, it's a Christmas special, part C. And we are going to look at Sinter Klass, Sint Nikolaas, Sint Nikolaas, Santa Claus. And we are wondering, what is this story? Welcome. Bishop Nicolas of Mayara, which was a town found in today's Turkey, he was a Greek man. And he lived between, some say in the 2nd century, some say in the 3rd century, some say in the 4th century. Now, Bishop Nicolas of Mayar used to perform miracles. It is said that when he prayed to God, he could even bring people back to life. And so is recognized as a saint today. And so one day, he rescued 3 girls from being sold as slaves. How did he do it? He paid dowry so that they could be married off by men. But he did not deliver the gold personally. He dropped it. And when he dropped the gold coins, the gold dropped in the girls' socks, which were being hung next to a fire to dry. He therefore saved these girls from being sold as slaves by their parents. And they were married off by men because now dowry was available. Now, this story remained as a myth for many years. But in the 11th century, this story of Sint Nikolaas began to interest societies in Europe. Especially the fact of giving gold to save kids became a tradition. So people would give gifts to children around the feast of remembering Saint Nicholas. And this feast of remembering Saint Nicholas was always around the 6th of December. And the people who would be mimicking Saint Nicholas would put on like a bishop. So they would put on red costumes of the bishops of that time. So that red color was to depict how Saint Nicholas would look by the 11th century. Now, because the gold was dropped, was not delivered in person, it meant that Saint Nicholas, who could perform miracles, would therefore climb walls. He would therefore enter a room, even if a room was closed. And so the people who mimicked Saint Nicholas would do the same. They would bring gifts without being seen. Children would wake up and find gifts. And then they would know that these gifts are definitely from Saint Nicholas, who, because he's a miraculous man, doesn't need keys to open any door, doesn't need an area which is open to deliver gifts. And so Saint Nicholas became associated with giving gifts around the 6th of December to children. And these children, they would find the gifts in socks, because remember, the original story was socks, either in shoes or socks. Now, that was the 11th century. Now, in the 16th century, there was a reformation of Christianity. Reformists pulled out of Rome and began their own denominations. They rejected the practice of remembering Saint Nicholas and the customs that went along giving gifts. However, in Great Britain, a culture developed where an old man would give gifts, not gifts actually, he would make parties. He would make Christmas parties by presiding over Christmas parties. He did not give gifts at that time. And the British named this man, the old man, Father Christmas. Now, the culture of Father Christmas borrowed from Sint Nikolaas, and the two joined together. And so when people went to see drama in plays, in theater, they found one where the two were enjoined, Father Christmas and Sint Nikolaas. And from then on, the two almost became the same and anonymous. By the 18th century, the tradition of both Father Christmas and St. Claus was predominant, and it entered the United States of America. And so the Americans, the northern states, began to celebrate, and in a very unique way, in a very commercialized way. That is how this Sinter Klass or Sint Nikolaas or Sint Nikolaas or Santa Claus, actually it was the Americans who nicknamed him Santa Claus, but after those other names, Santa for Saint, Santa for Sainti, or Santa for Sinter. The original people to call him Sinter Klaas were the Greeks, were the Dutch people, following, mimicking their own mother tongue as Sinter Klass. So later on, the French, Sint Nikolaas, and then the British, Sint Nikolaas, and then the Americans, Santa Claus. And then that's how the tradition kept on of delivering gifts by surprise. Gifts are put in socks or shoes. They are surprise. They are given to children. All that is surrounding this tradition. Now, there was one tradition from the feast we saw yesterday, the pagan solstice celebration by the Scandinavians. The Scandinavians used to have a dance, and they would dance around in circles, and it would be called the Yule Karole. Now, a Karole meaning dancing when you are going around, and that was, I think, a French word. And this was borrowed, and now children would go around dancing as they expect to be visited and be given gifts by Sinter Klaas or Sint Nikolaas or Sint Nikolaas or Santa Claus. Miraculously, if the commercialized world began to make movies, they would show Santa Claus in the air, that he could fly, he could drive into the Scandinavian countries with snow, he could jump over walls, over skyscrapers in New York. So all those movies are because it is believed that the original Bishop Nicolas of Mayara used to perform miracles. And one of the miracles, he actually brought people who were dead to life. But all these are myths. There is no proven facts. They are myths. But even the story of the gold and saving the girls are all myths. No proof, no names as such, but they are believed, and therefore they have become a tradition. And so for those of us who are walking around and seeing this gentleman on door shops, in the shopping malls, in the arcades, is in red, it is supposed to be a bishopric costume. Bishops would wear like that. The fact that it's always an old man with a beard has nothing to do with St. Nicholas, but has everything to do with the British Father Christmas, whose Father Christmas had nothing to do with St. Nicholas until the drama people in the theater enjoined the two. And in the 18th century, when this story reached America, the American commercialized it. And that's why for you today, you see it in your shop, in the shopping arcade, as you walk around during this Christmas. That is the story of what you see. And that is how it got connected into the commercial world. That was by the Americans. But otherwise, it was supposed to be gifts for free. It was supposed to be charity, as least as far as the Americans are concerned. But originally, the thing is Bishop Nicolas of Myara, a Greek man who was born in Turkey. May the good Lord bless us all.